He's my oldest friend. I mean, we've known each other practically forever.
Urge to ship rising? Oh, who am I kidding? I viewed these two as a potential couple ever since Starlight switched sides. But it's fun to look at this episode and see not only how Starlight and Sunburst's relationship has changed, but also how this episode could have gone. Just from the description, I can envision 3 different approaches. The first is that Trixie could be jealous of Sunburst since she takes great pride in her relationship with Starlight.
And current best friend of Starlight.
Another option could be that Starlight would worry about how Sunburst would get along with her array of quirky friends. Of course, Spike already tackled that in Triple Threat, so I'm glad they didn't retread old ground or make Starlight look quite so bad as Spike. No, instead it's about how Starlight feels she's lost her bond with her oldest friend while he seems to be getting along more with the others. Which is probably the most fun idea because we get to see a side of the characters not often shown. Case in point, look at how freaking adorable Trixie looks as they practice magic. She's so caught up in the parallel play that she isn't showing any impatience or haughtiness. Well, not until she feels neglected anyway.
You're both poor practice audiences.
By a similar notion, Maud doesn't connect with a lot of ponies, but finding someone who shares her knowledge of rocks and strata probably feels like a breath of, well, it's shale and well met. And having the chance to see Twilight obsess over historical artifacts and knickknacks is part of her charm, likely because she approaches it with such a bubbling enthusiasm. Not to mention that seeing her flip out over a tabletop game is pretty fun.
I guess it is adorable.
But there's also an important statement about Starlight in this mix. Look at all the ponies she's befriended. It's not so much over shared interest, but shared feelings. None of these ponies, except for Twilight, has an easy time fitting in. Whether it's wrong choices, atypical expressions, or just being more introverted than most, Starlight manages to befriend them. Why? Because I think she understands what it's like to never really fit in. After all, she was a magical prodigy who was not living in Canterlot. I wonder how that affected her relationship with others after Sunburst left. I'm still not a fan of this single explanation for why she became a villain, but I think this episode can give a hint as to how she views the world. It also shows that Starlight shares a flaw with Rarity. She likes to script out how things will go and doesn't know how to adapt. It's a flaw with which I can relate, and so my appreciation for Starlight grows. The truth is, she could have bonded with all her friends faster if she had stopped focusing on what they weren't doing and instead channeled her energy towards a shared experience. I will say that Sunburst was insensitive, getting so swept up in meeting new friends that he neglected the one he intentionally came out to see. However, that is tempered by the fact that this jack-of-all-trades pony may be more starved for interaction.
I don't have much in common with most ponies.
Indeed, props to Sunburst for finding a way to both bring Starlight back into the fold and pooling his friends' talents to make it happen. I'm so glad the show has grown a roster of male characters besides Big Macintosh who are smart, friendly, and competent. I know the show is marketed towards a female audience, but a balanced cast really runs in line with the idea of both friendship and harmony. Although I'm not sure how much longer that will last, given what Twilight has to put up with. Between all the yaks, dragons, and now ponies who have messed with her magically gifted castle, I fully expect a new spin-off series. My Little Pony, Stop Breaking My Stuff! Coming next fall from Bad Ideas Incorporated. Of course, we end on a teaser to bigger things as we head towards the season finale. On its own, I found this episode cute, fun, and filled with enjoyable characters. Nothing huge, but definitely a solid episode and one I'd recommend. I'm Silver Quilted. Thanks for watching.